And they always wanted to talk to me. And I'd be like, no, don't talk to me right now, no. And I would get in trouble. That I'm a catalyst. And since I could actually at any time get kicked out of anywhere, which I normally don't, but on here, a lot of what I'm finding out about YouTube since I've been a creator and what's going on right now in the news, I figure YouTube could be really limited as far as like sustainability. How long will it be around? But this one is about, about how it all started for me. How did I get like this? How did I get so crazy? Well, probably you see in the thumbnail that kid sitting out at the desk. That was me a couple of times, I admit it. But I was always a catalyst. I was a good student. I knew how to do my work, and I didn't copy people in school. And I wasn't disrupting the class intentionally. I would walk in, and there'd be always a couple of people that liked me or something, and they always wanted to talk to me. And I'd be like, no, don't talk to me right now, no. And I would get in trouble. They'd be in the classroom still, but I'd get kicked out because I caused or I laughed. If I would smirk at something the teacher said, and I wouldn't even have to move. And I would just sit there like this, and somebody would notice and laugh, and then all of a sudden they'd point at me, and I'm outside sitting. Well, the greatest thing would be to go outside. I didn't try to get kicked out, but when I did go out there, I sure enjoyed it. I know I'm the guy you saw when you had your hall pass going down the hallway or, the outside corridor, and I'm sitting there waving at you. Now, I wasn't the, problem, causer. I wasn't getting in fights and stuff like that. I was what you call the catalyst. Anyway, while being the catalyst and while sitting at the desk, observing the mountains and the outside, this is where I want to be all the time. As a matter of fact, later down the road, they started doing classes outside. They would move everybody outside to do class in the good season when it was sunny. And I thought, look at this, they're kicking everybody out. Anyway, back to why, and back to the kids that are still in class, doing the work and doing a good job. They all turned out great, I'm sure. And then I turned out here, sitting by a wall with a bicycle over here and making videos. Now, I lived in Alaska for a long time. I was a mountain guide. I was a carpenter. I was a tour guide, raft guide, a world guide, Nepal, all over the place. But guiding was my job. That's kind of the job a lot of us fell into that, we weren't real serious about the, technological world and building bombs and jets and, computers and data centers and stuff like that. So now all the people that were in that classroom, I went to a class reunion from the high school a few years ago, and, there was a few people still alive, just a few. And I'm 60. And who was left was, I could hardly recognize anyone, and they could hardly recognize me too, I'm sure. But the whole thing was that they were gone that way, and they were still in the classroom, and they're wondering why I live outside. Now, not, completely homeless in the gutter, but I live on a bike, or I'm climbing somewhere. I lived in South America for a year and spent a year in the Andes. I'm 60. I did that when I was 55. And I'm still doing this. This is my life. My kids are all grown up. I was a dad, still a dad, but I was a young father and did the thing and the grind and tried to fit in, and I just was totally non-traditional, and everybody hated that about me. But I'm still here. I feel pretty good. I feel young. I don't look as young as I used to, but I feel really great. I'm glad that my teacher was smart enough to sit me at a desk outside. It was liberating. So as we move into this new phase of what's happening in the world, they say it's collective craziness. I call it just mass psychosis, I guess. Anyway, and just biking through and adventuring and watching things change and like they always have, watching the flowers grow and die and blah blah blah, and watching people get older, watching babies be born. And it's still pretty much the same show to me. But, read the old stories. They always end up the same, don't they? They always end up the same. So while it's going on, I'm going to be out here on the bike, taking you with me, as long as YouTube's going to stay open for biz. I'm going to keep bringing you along, doing videos, enjoying my life as much as possible, having the bad days, having the good days. That's what we'll be doing here at Tectonic. And if you want to come along, I'm going to keep going. This has always been going on. It's not a new thing. YouTube's new, but I'm not new. Thanks for coming. Please watch, please like, and subscribe.